Hello, company Tempotec gathering more and more attention among those who want some audio gear with maximum affordable price. Their digital to analog converters are really cost efficient, and I was very interested when they've announced that they are going to release the portable audio transport. So it was Tempotec V1, just kind of player but without digital to analog converter, and created to output signal just to external digital to analog converter. But then I became even more excited because they've announced that they will release portable audio player, and that's how V1-A appeared. Actually, that's what we've got today for review. It's small digital audio player, really affordable. It uses AK4377 as main chip. Its price is its price $110. It's really small, and it offers a lot of interesting features, and output power is about 60 milliwatts for 16 ohms load. Not really powerful, but when you will see its size, you will understand why. And also it features a really stable OS made by Hibi, and also it supports Bluetooth even with LDAC codec. So I think it's really interesting offer, and let's have a closer look. Box is small and fairly simple, but I think it's totally understandable because here you paying just for the player itself, not for some fancy package, and every single cent is important, so Tempotec tried to cut the cost as much as possible. So just white cardboard, nothing fancy, but I think this bare minimalistic approach is okay in this case. So you will have player itself, different papers and manuals, and charging cable. So pretty nice cable, and as you can see it's regular USB to USB-C, and also USB-C to micro USB to use it with player as a transport with external digital to analog converters. Player itself is really small, so you can see. Let me do size comparison. It's even smaller than FiOS M6. It's less height, less width, same thickness. It's really lightweight, about 80 grams, so you know it's great pocketable device. Screen is covered with protector, so let's peel it, and thanks to the Tempotec they applied protective screen from the factory. So let me stick it back. So, but surprises don't stop here. It has two micro SD slots, so in this tiny size you can load really a lot of storage. And it has hardware buttons for volume control, on off, and for track navigation. 3 separate buttons for maximum comfortable controls. On the bottom there is USB-C output and headphones out, so basically all inputs and outputs that you will need, you will have. USB-C can be used for charging, to output signal to external digital to analog converters, to access memory card. Speaking about charge, usually you will have from 10 to 14 hours depending on the load and on the volume, because it's volume dependent. But I think for such a small device it's really good figures. Full charge will take about a bit more than 2 hours, 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 15 minutes, or somewhere here. So settings, brightness, let me increase brightness to maximum level. So firmware is made by Hibi, and that means that you will have nice, good quality operation system. And all controls are done via sensor screen. Of course, screen isn't big, it actually occupies about half of player's front panel, a bit more than half. Of course, you know, it would be cool if screen would be bigger and if it covered the whole front panel. I agreed to pay like $30 or $40 more, but of course I don't think it's doable. So anyway, screen is pretty nice. As you can see, it has pretty good viewing angles and enough of brightness to be usable under the direct sunlight. I think it's another good thing to have, and it's surprisingly well built device for such an affordable price. It's small, it's really comfortable, you know, you grab it in hand and all buttons are accessible. It's really pocketable. It's nice device for daily commute. It's good device for some active usage. I think you can get some handband, not headband, of course, handband, and carry it somewhere on your shoulder or somewhere around you. So really, I like this build quality, I like design, I like controls. So. As for firmware, it's fairly simple, but at the same time it has everything that you will need. So browse micro SD cards if you need, or you can access your external USB here. Just select what you like and you will have it. There is a mass editing feature, so you can add files to playlist or delete them. So everything that you can expect from the Hibi dubs you will have. Media library, all tracks, albums, artists, genres, favorites, recent, and playlists. Bluetooth, actually here is everything as you can expect. Hibi link is present. Quality, you can select what codec you will need. LDAC, aptX or SBC. Bluetooth volume adjustment separately if you need it. Search for device, paired device, and available device here. You will have MSEB equalizer, really nice feature to have in such an expensive device. Nice way of sound tuning, so let me turn Bluetooth off. Equalizer, of course it's better to keep it off, but if you like equalizing you can use it. Play mode, play order, loop, and so on. Resume play, I prefer to remember even position. Gateless playback, DSD output mode, maximum volume, fixed power on volume if you need, crossfade. I don't know why anyone can need this, but anyway. Gain, actually it's not really powerful, but you still can select lower gain. Replay gain, balance, play through folders, and play through albums. In the system settings you can select language, update media library, select automatic update if you need. There is some low power mode, not sure what it will do, but some battery saving features probably will enable. Brightness, few color themes, font size if you need to increase it, backlight time, USB mode, storage, audio or dock station, button operations when screen is locked, time settings, idle timer, sleep timer, standby and inline remote, and reset factory settings and firmware update, and also information about the firmware. So if you select some file, it will start the playback, and in the bottom part you will see the information about now playing track, and you can quickly go to the now playing screen. Swipe will move you back, or swipe from bottom will open quick settings menu. Volume, brightness, and USB, gain, Bluetooth, and so on. So as you can see, firmware is surprisingly well done. It's made by Hibi, so it's really mature and really, well, maybe not rock solid, but pretty capable for this price range. Really reliable, normal sensitivity of the screen, not superb like in some expensive models, but still good. So, you know, in terms of build, in terms of firmware, I think it's this player has really high price to quality ratio. And of course about the sound, you know, I like this player, I like design, I like firmware, and I wanted so hard for it to be something stellar in terms of sound, so I can name it like, maybe not giant killer, I don't like this word that is commonly used, but I wanted some superb sound, so I could say that just grab it, but this miracle doesn't happen. Do it sound bad? No, of course no. You know, roughly speaking, it's about the level of some smartphone with dedicated digital to analog converter. Maybe not the best ones like LG, but something from Chinese manufacturers. Actually, they also sometimes use AK-4377, so I think it's about the same. But of course, you know, it's not kind of audiophilic or high-end player, but sound it's still pretty good. So let me have in-ear monitors on the table to pretend that like for some illustration purpose. And let's speak about the sound. So first thing that you will notice with this player, it's bass. Bass is actually pretty weighty, pretty authoritative, and it's pumpy. Well, I can't say that it's accented, but actually speaking a bit ahead, it has recessed treble, so bass is noticeable, so it's on the warmer side, but not because of Low's accent, but because of treble recession. Bass has normal resolution, not superb, but okay, it's controlled well, has normal depth. Of course, it's lacking a bit of richness, it's lacking a bit of texturing, but still pretty enjoyable. I will speak about some conclusions closer to the end. As an example of the low frequencies, I got really nostalgic track. It's Santa Esmeralda, and the track is named Another Cha-Cha. It has punchy bass line. Well, actually probably not bass line. It's too bold to say about bassline, but it has nice engaging drums, and this player really plays this drum section in a really enjoyable way, so bass is pretty okay, especially to listen it on the go, for example. Mids are normal, they are lacking a bit of micro contrast, but resolution is okay, not super, but also really okay, you know. It's not oversimplified, it has pretty good detalization, normal resolution, just lacking a bit of micro detalization focus compared with more expensive devices, but at the same time you won't be missing some details. It's lacking also a bit of weight on the mids, but with proper in-ear monitors it won't be an issue also. Imaginary stage is about average in width and a bit below average in depth, but at least it has a normal layering, you know. It's not squishing everything into one plane like some cheap devices do so. And actually it's one of the most noticeable differences from regular smartphones. For example, my iPhone soundstage is almost flat in depth, so it will give you a better depth layering at least. And as an example for the mids, I've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soundtrack. It's Deep Purple Hush. Great soundtrack, but I think you know it even without me. Of course, Quentin Tarantino and good soundtracks are synonyms. And this track is a great example of what probably could be called golden era of Deep Purple. Their signature sound with electric organ and heavy guitars and nice vocal, engaging tune, so I think you know this track, so no need to describe it, and it requires some good depth to represent stage in a lifelike way, and this player will do it. At the same time, it will lack treble extension to play cymbals properly, but we are speaking about mids. Also, it's lacking a bit of micro detalization to fully represent this track, but I'd say that it's acceptable. And treble, well, probably not unfortunately, but it's the simplest, the most simplified part in the sound of this player. I really suppose that Tempotec will do something with it and release like V1-A Pro or something like that, because I really want to have a bit better sound in this tiny package, but currently treble is recessed and simplified simultaneously. It's lacking a bit of extension, it's lacking resolution, it's lacking quantity. It's present and it's not sounding too synthetic or too metallic at the same time, but it's lacking treble. You can add a bit of treble with equalizer, but it still will be lacking extension. So I think it's something that many people can live with, and especially if you don't like treble, it could be a great option for you. And as an example for the treble, I've got another nice track. It's Turbine Hall from the Chernobyl original soundtrack. Great masterpiece. Both TV series is a great masterpiece. As a person born in Ukraine, I really recommend you to watch this TV series to get an idea of what Soviet Union did. And of course, in terms of music, especially if you like ambient, it's a great soundtrack that suits this movie in a really great way, and it's filled with different sounds of different technology. It's sounding really disturbing, and treble play important role here in this informing this soundscape, because it's actually maybe not even a song, it's not some music, it's more like soundscape, but it's what you can expect from the ambient soundtrack. And of course it's lacking treble noticeably, but still played really okay. So to summarize everything in terms of sound, this player is normal, not superb, but normal, and of course it's tailored first of all for those who need a player as a substitution of the smartphone. It's a bit better than regular smartphones with separate digital tonal converters, and I'd say that it's on the same level as smartphones with separate dedicated digital tonal converter. Maybe LG will be a bit better, but I didn't test it. It's created for those who want to use player during daily commute, during some sport activities on the go, where you won't be focused on the sound quality. It's not bad, but not the best one. So I say it. I'll be honest here. I won't try to smooth some edges here, but it's still acceptable and normal sound performance, especially if you find some matching headphones. And of course it's also great as Bluetooth source or as a digital source for external digital tonal converter, but still I pretty enjoy it even with headphones. Speaking about pairing, it's of course created for the in-ear monitors first of all, but it can also drive sensitive full-size headphones, but in-ear monitors is number one option for it. Background noise is on the pretty low level, so it's another plus for this. And a few words about comparisons, just few models in this price range. First one is FIO X1 Mark II. It's a bit better in terms of treble, so overall sound representation is also better, but at the same time in terms of usability and in terms of features, of course V1 is a winner here, and actually a clear winner. Better Bluetooth, better firmware, and so on. FIO's new M5 is also a bit better on the treble, so I'd say that it's also a bit better in terms of sound, but it's even a bit less powerful, so it's it's worse with full-size headphones, but on sensitive in-ear monitors it will be a bit better sonically, and it will offer less work time, and also firmware here is a bit more comfortable. And another option to consider in this price range, it's Zishan. I didn't test new T1 or P1, what was it model name, but Zishan DSD that I have, it's better sonically, more mature, more powerful, but at the same time it's much bigger and much worse in terms of usability. So, you know, if you're okay with big bulky job and you want better sound for less money, it can be an option for you. At the same time, Fuse M6 and Hidis AP80 will be better sonically and offer at least comparable usability. So just $50 additional will give you a bit better dub. But still, V1 is a nice option for those who are really tight on budget, or for those who want long-lasting digital audio player for daily usage. It will offer you a lot of features, nice firmware and okay sound. Thank you for attention.